Hey folks, it's James. I'm still here. You're still here. Let's talk. So last time I talked about when I was an engineer, and I said that helped me jump into project management. So what actually happened was I was working on a drug pump project at Medtronic, and one of my assignments was to make sure that some accessories like your chargers and docking stations, things like that, making sure that everything was good on that end. Another engineer had previously selected those parts and they just wanted me to check on that. So I said, okay, sure. Well, when I did a basic check, I actually found that those things did not meet any of the requirements that we needed. And I started getting a feeling that we were in big trouble. And so what I did was I talked to my friend who was a project manager and said, hey, I'm really worried about this. And I started talking about the risk, and he said, that's interesting. The person who was supposed to be managing that is now not here. So that's probably why we missed this. And I said, oh, crap. And then he told me, maybe you can just chip in, and moonlight as a project manager while you're doing an engineer's job. And I said, that might be hard, but I'll give it a shot because I don't want my project to get canceled again. So what I did was I dove into kind of like what's the risk, what's the requirements, how do we fix, mitigate the risk and get this project on track. And I pretty much figured out a timeline that we had to do that by. And so then I can made that plan. I took it to the program management office, or the PMO as they call it sometimes. They said, okay, looks good. And they didn't really question me on too much technical stuff. And so then my next job was to put on my engineer hat and to solve the problem as an engineer. So I did that. I found some other solution to charging and docking that did meet our requirements and that didn't have the risks. I think it was a supply chain risk and also a performance uh, risk of the parts. They weren't working. So I presented that to the project management office again, like a couple weeks later, a month later. They signed off on it, and they said thank you. And I said, you're welcome. And that's kind of how I got into the role. And from then on, I was kind of hooked because I realized that by having more of an active participation in the direction of the project, I actually saved a part of the project by identifying a risk proactively, working to find a solution, and then in closing it. And so that made the project more successful. And I use that lesson a lot in the rest of my project management career. So in the next videos, I'll tell you more stories about project management, and I will talk to you later. Bye bye.